Hello, Andrew here, running on beer with kind of a different type of video because this isn't really a product review because it's for a product many of us have already used, and that is PBW. But this one's a little different. It's PBW Tablets. Now, these are kind of nice for a couple of reasons. And I guess first off, these are made by FiveStar Chemicals. If you don't know FiveStar, do you even Star San, bro? Star San's great stuff. I use it all the time. They actually make IoStar also, which is a great iodine-based sanitizer. I've used it a few times and thought I had a bottle of it, but apparently I don't. I'm gonna order some. So anyway, PBW tablets. Why are these important? There's an American thing with like, hey, let's hop the fuck out of everything, which is great, or let's, kick up the ABV as high as possible. That's why we've got like 12% pastry stouts. And I'm not complaining. I love hoppy beers. I love pastry stouts, actually. I know that can get some hate mail, but yeah, every so often a pastry stout's really nice. I love imperial stouts. I don't mind that it's 10 to 12%. I've occasionally, not often, even drank some bourbons that are like 50+%. I'm not really ready for those, but one day. Cleaner, not something you want to overmix. There's a couple of reasons. One is because you can really fuck up your skin or your nose or your eyes or whatever, because these things at high amounts, it's really bad for you. In fact, I've even seen some videos that have said, hey, when you're using even PBW, it's not a bad idea to wear gloves. And when I do like my kettle cleaning, I wear some of the, kind of blue latex, surgeon kind of gloves, because this stuff is not great for your skin. And my skin already deals with enough stuff because, going out and running in the cold and all. Also, if you mix it too light, well, it doesn't work as well. Mix it too heavy, you get everything I just said. And it's also wasteful sometimes. You don't want to overmix something and not really get a benefit out of it. And some of this stuff, if you overmix it, you're not really getting a benefit. And also, sometimes science comes into it. Back when the pandemic started a little over a year ago, there was a lot of talk about isopropyl alcohol and the proper percentage of it, because you didn't want 100% isopropyl alcohol because it my recollection of it is something like it couldn't burst cell walls of bacteria that it was trying to kill. So you didn't want like straight up stuff, like 90% or 70% or something was perfect for places to like spray on surfaces, because it would evaporate quickly, and at that concentration it had the power to, I guess, damage bacterial cell walls and then kill the bacteria. I guess in this case we're really talking about a virus, so you get my point though. Sometimes science gets involved. So I did a few tests on these. Those videos are coming up here in a second, but the reality is this works like PBW, which is great. It's in tablets, which is great. So here's a few action things just to show that it actually works. This is one of those things that I don't know what the audio is going to sound like because I've got a pump running, the air handler just shut off, but this is the inside of my kettle. Yeah, the pump's still running. You can see it whirlpooling, and this is going to be my test of, and actually the second test of the PBW tablets. See if I can get that in the camera. So these are great. It's these particular ones are one tablet per gallon of water. This is safe on anything except copper and wood. Now, I've used 3 and 5 gallons for a plastic fermenter. I kind of baby those a little bit. It worked pretty well. 5 probably would have worked better. So let's see how it does. I am going to put 5 gallons in this, and I'm going to heat it up too. I just cranked the heating element up to 11. Got a lot of nice noises out of it. Almost sounds like a chirping bird. There's probably a quarter of a gallon in my chiller right now. This is circulating through my work chiller. I've got a counterflow chiller. So I'm going to get it up to about 4.5 to 4 3/4. And then I'm going to put on some gloves to scrub around this area right here. Get that ring where I had about 7, started out with actually 8 gallons of wort. Brewed an Imperial Pils, or Imperial Tropical Stout in this. Do this before it gets too hot. This is an Ocello pad. This is not abrasive. Not really. I mean, there's kind of a scrubby side here, but it is not an abrasive pad. It's not like a scouring pad. And that ring is just coming right off. I mean, this has maybe made it up to 100. You know, I do have it cranked up to 11, but I'm not like, it's electric. It's not the fastest in the world. It works really well. I did not pause the camera before hitting that ring. I just let it go. So we're not talking like a long, time to sit. This worked pretty well instantly. And now it's getting too hot for my hands. A little. So I am actually going to stop the video right now because I'm going to let it run for a little while. And it may be a long while. So it'll come back, and through the magic of YouTube videos, you won't notice a thing. Alright, so, life happened. This has been running for hours, and the water's blue. Now, I've seen a YouTube comment that mentions that it could be with copper, which my wort chiller is copper, so maybe I shouldn't let it run quite so long. It also killed a bug, which happens to be floating around the surface. But it looks pretty damn clean in there. I'm gonna go ahead and drain it so we can see what the heating element looks like. Scrub on this. Yeah, there's a bunch of gunk coming off of it. What is that? So, yeah, the inside looks great. Needs a little bit of a rinse, and I can finish up. Cheers. Alright, so here's another application of the PBW tablets. I've got a couple things here. One, probably the biggest, is a blow-off tube. And this beer was happy. I also have a wine bottle that needs to be delabeled, a little bit better than what detergent can do. And another bottle that I want delabeled, because it's a nice one to use if I ever do something that's high carb. 3 gallons of water. 3 tablets. They're going around like it's Alka-Seltzer, PBW seltzer, I guess. We'll take this and just push it in there. I'm not even going to wait for it to go, because this is going to need to soak for a while. I probably should be wearing gloves. And since it's a tube, I've got to push it down in there and get all the air out. Maybe that'll work. Bottle 1. Bubbly. And bottle 2. I'm going to leave these for a while, and we'll see what happens.
1 hour later.
Back at it here. Let's take a look. This one's still pretty stuck on. Maybe it needs a little bit more time. This is pretty well clean. A little bit of like a scale or something on the outside. I'm not sure what that was, and I think it may have already been on there. So that's ready to rinse. And this label I know is more difficult to remove. See what I can do. Oh, it's removing pretty well. Leftover adhesive's rubbing right off. Might put this back in since I'm going to leave this wine bottle in. So it's probably been an hour or so, maybe. It's a guess.
A few hours later.
9:30 at night. And here we go. And all that adhesive gone. I need a little bit of a scrub from a no-cello pad or something, but yeah. Oh, this side's a little bit more stubborn. Maybe I'll just leave it overnight. I think I'll do that. I've already talked about the big pro with this stuff, which is tablets, easy to measure. It's easy to mix. If you look on an actual container of like 1 pound of PBW, it says, oh, mix X ounces per gallon. I don't know about y'all. I don't want to get my scale out to mix cleaner. I prefer to like scoop it in, or in this case, you can drop in the tablets. The tablets dissolve quickly. I made a joke on one of those videos about calling it like PBW seltzer instead of Alka-Seltzer, because you drop it in, you start to see it bubble and everything, which is really cool. One sort of con is it seems like this is less efficient storage, and I mean it is for a size standpoint, but this really isn't that much taller. I mean, it's probably twice as tall as a 1 pound container, maybe a little bit narrower, so that's not too bad. It seems like this could get a little on the expensive side, but I don't know. This is roughly 1 pound of cleaner. 40 10-gram tablets is 400 grams. The 1 pound container would be 454 grams. So yeah, you might lose a little bit if they match this price to the 1 pound, but it's not so bad that I'd bat an eye. Now, if this is like, 1.25, 1.5 times what the 1 pound container costs, yeah, I'd probably just go with the 1 pound. But, otherwise, seems like a great thing. Maybe bigger tablets would be cool, because I usually put like 10 gallons into my boil kettle to clean it. When I did the test video, I only did 5. And I could probably go with 5, but, Maybe fewer tablets would be nice, but that's not really a big deal either. So anyway, cheers.